And we are live. Today's daily reading, I'm going to read from the classic As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, which was written about 100 years ago, in about 1904, 1906, around that time, early 1900s. And he wrote over 18 books, but the number one, what he was most known for was the classic self help book, As a Man Thinketh. It can be read in one sitting. It's about 100 pages, and 100 years later, people are still reading it. So there's two chapters in it that are powerful, that really resonate with me, and I want to share with you what I learned from these two chapters. I want to read from them. One of them is called Visions and Ideals. Another one is on the importance of serenity and having calmness of mind, and how actually calmness is power, inner power. Calmness equals inner power. I want to read to you on that. So I'm going to start for you from the chapter on visions and ideals. This is one of my favorite chapters. Visions and Ideals by James Allen. As a Man Thinketh. Those who cherish a beautiful vision, a lofty ideal in their hearts, will one day realize it. The dreamers are the saviors of the world. As the visible world is sustained by the invisible, so humanity, through all its trials and mistakes and suffering, is nourished by the beautiful visions of its solitary dreamers. Humanity cannot forget its dreamers. It cannot let their ideals fade and die. It lives in them. It knows them as the realities that it'll one day see and know. Composer, sculptor, painter, poet, prophet, sage. These are the makers of the afterworld, the architects of heaven. The world is beautiful because they have lived. Without them, laboring humanity would perish. Those who cherish a beautiful vision, a lofty ideals in their hearts, will one day realize it. Columbus cherished the vision of another world, and he discovered it. Copernicus fostered the vision of multiplicity of worlds and a wider universe, and he revealed it. Buddha beheld the vision of a spiritual world of stainless beauty and perfect peace, and he entered into it. Cherish your visions, cherish your ideals, cherish the music that stirs in your heart, the beauty that forms in your mind, the loveliness that drapes your finest thoughts. For out of them will grow all delightful conditions, all heavenly environment. Of these, if you remain true to them, your world will at last be built. To deserve is to obtain, to aspire is to achieve. Shall our basest desires receive the fullest measure of gratification, and our purest aspirations starve for lack of sustenance? Such is not the law of the universe, such as a condition of things can never obtain. Ask and you shall receive. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at least unveil. The greatest achievement was at first and for a time a dream. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs. Dreams are the seedlings of realities. Your circumstances may be uncongenial, but they shall not long remain. But if you perceive an ideal, to strive to reach it. You cannot travel within and stand still without. When going through hard times and hardship, dream of better things to come. Think of intelligence, of refinement, of grace, of beauty. Conceive in your mentality and build that up in an ideal condition of life. The vision of a wider, liberal, and larger scope, take possession of them. Utilize all your spare time and means to visualizing and affirming a new, bright, and better future for yourself. The development of your latent powers and resource. Very soon, their minds will become so altered the workshop can no longer hold them, has become so out of harmony with their mentality that falls out of their lives as a garment is cast aside. And with the growth of opportunities, scope of the expanding powers, they pass out of it forever. Years later, we see them each in their unique way, masters of certain forces of the mind, and they wield worldwide influence and almost unquelled power. In their hands, they hold the gigantic responsibilities. They speak, and lives are changed. Men and women hanging upon the worlds will mold their character and sunlight. They become the fixed luminous center around which innumerable destinies revolve. They have realized the vision of their youth. They have become one with their ideals. And you too, youthful reader, or any reader, will realize the vision, not the ideal wish of your heart, be it base or beautiful or a mixture of both, for you'll always gravitate toward that which you secretly must love. Into your hands will be placed the exact results of your own thoughts. You'll receive that which you earn, no more, no less. Whatever your present environment be, you will fall, remain, or rise with your thoughts. Your vision, your ideal. You'll become as small as your controlling desire. You'll become as great as your dominant aspiration. To see that vision sometimes requires the sacrifice and undaunted efforts put forth and faith exercised that you might overcome odds insurmountable and realizing your vision of your heart. A lot of people just see the success, but they don't see what is behind the success. And all those years of some darkness and the heartaches, they only see the light and joy and call it luck. They do not see the long and arduous journey, but only see the pleasant goal and call it good fortune. They do not understand the process, but only perceive the result and call it chance. In all human affairs, there are efforts and there are results, and the strength of the effort is the measure of the result. It is not chance. So called gifts, powers, material, intellectual, and spiritual possessions are the fruits of effort. They are thoughts completed, objects accomplished, visions realized. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by, and this you will become. And the last chapter, As a Man Thinketh, is called Serenity. And I want to read to you about serenity. The opening quote of the chapter is very important. It says this: the more tranquil we become, I like that word tranquil, tranquility. That is beautiful. The more tranquil we become, the greater is our success, our influence, our power for good. So we need to develop that state of tranquility, calmness. James Allen says, calmness of the mind is one of the most beautiful jewels of wisdom. Calmness of mind is one of the most beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort and self-control. Its presence is an indication of ripened experience and a more than ordinary knowledge of the laws and operation of thought. We become calm in the measure that we understand ourselves as thought evolved beings. For such knowledge necessitates the understanding of others as the result of thought. As we have developed a right understanding and seen more and more clearly the internal relations of things by the action of cause and effect, or known as karma, we cease to fuss and fool, worry and grieve, and remain poised, steadfast, and serene. People who are calm have learned how to govern themselves and know how to adapt themselves to others. And these others, in turn, revere the calm people's spiritual strength and feel that they can learn from them and rely upon them. The more tranquil we become, the greater is our success, our influence, our power for good. Even the most ordinary salespeople, for example, will find their business prosperity increase as they develop greater self control and equanimity. For people always prefer to deal with people whose manner is pleasant and steady. Strong, calm people are always loved and revered. They're like the shade giving trees in a thirsty land or a sheltering rock in a storm. Who does not love a tranquil heart, a sweet tempered, balanced life? It does not matter whether it rains or shines, or what changes come to those possessing these blessings, for they are always sweet, serene, and calm. That exquisite poise of character that we call serenity is the last lesson in our culture. It is the flowering of life, the fruitage of the soul. It is precious as wisdom and more to be desired than gold. Yes, than even fine gold. How insignificant mere money is this seeking looks in comparison with the serene life, a life that dwells in the ocean of truth beneath the waves, beyond the reach of the tempests, in the eternal calm. How many people do we know who sour their lives, who ruin all that is sweet and beautiful by explosive tempers, who destroy the poise of character and make bad blood? It is questioned whether the great majority of people do not ruin their lives and mar their happiness by lack of understanding and self control. How few people we meet in life who are well balanced, who have the exquisite poise that is characteristic of the finished character. Yes, humanity surges with uncontrolled anger, is tumultuous with ungoverned grief, is blown about by anxiety and doubt. Only the truly wise, whose thoughts are controlled and purified, make the winds and storms of the soul obey them. Tempest tossed souls, wherever you may be, under whatever conditions you may live, know this. In the ocean of life, the isles of blessedness are smiling, and the sunny shore of your ideal awaits your coming. Keep your hand firmly upon the helm of thought. In the ship of your soul reclines the commanding master. He does but sleep. Wake him. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Say to your heart, peace, be still. Again, self-control equals strength. Right thought equals mastery. And calmness equals power. God bless you. Namaste.